Open your mind and journey through the cosmos of the universe. This is Bridging Realms with Dr. Gene Carlisle and False Freedom 691.
Welcome back. We're in the studio. We're going to talk today about our normal Bridging Realms kind of fare.
Yeah, you know.
Paranormal, conspiracy, and the like. But we've had some difficulties recently with our equipment. So it's kind of...
Yeah, it's like I'm getting external signals into my headphones.
Yeah, we're getting some cracks, some weird noises. This is not weird for a conspiracy podcast. I've heard this on several of the podcasts I listen to, friends of the show, people that we're fans of. There's always the possibility that they're listening in, and who they be is up for debate. But, we hear things. We hear, sometimes some heavy breathing or clicks, weird noises, like we're being tapped. We could be tapped.
Yeah, there's a little bit of chatter from time to time. Some chatter.
Like, are you like terrorist chatter or like M. Night Shyamalan alien chatter?
It's kind of a mix. Like maybe an extra terrorist-real. Extra terrorist-real.
That's got to exist.
Yeah.
Frankly, that makes sense.
Maybe Roswell was a suicide bomber.
That's probably enough to get you a book deal right there, but could also be seen as offensive. Like, I could see it as a really downvoted post on Reddit.
But who is it offensive to? Are you saying maybe the aliens, the extraterrestrial, his family would be offended, or his species would be offended? Is that who should be offended by this? I can't really picture anybody else getting offended.
That makes sense. Touché on that. I don't know who would get offended, but it triggered my senses to say, like, that's offensive. But, maybe that's part of the rage machine brainwashing that has affected me. You never know. You got to watch for those these psyops that they're running online every day.
Doc, are you suggesting that I would offend terrorists?
Honestly, maybe. And I think that's possible. I mean, they have feelings too. They are people. However, if they practice terror, you're kind of asking to be terrorized back.
Yeah, guys, if you're a terrorist and you listen to the show, tweet me at falsefreedom691 and just let me know if you're offended or not. Maybe we have a big user base of terrorists, and I don't want to alienate our user base.
For real.
Pun not intended.
We don't know. And, you don't know how much you can trust the mainstream media these days, but they have let us know that terrorists are very active on Twitter. That,
for sure.
Twitter is a hotbed of terror activity. So, if you're listening, you may be some of our listeners, and we're trying not to discriminate. We don't want to be judgmental or anything like that. We love all, positive beings in this universe. But, if you're like a bad kind of terrorist that's going to hate us just for being American, you can eat my ass. You can fuck off.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing listening to my goddamn show, huh?
Yeah, you don't need to listen to this shit anyway. If you're what do you give a fuck about aliens?
Fucking American hating piece of shit.
And stuff like that. If you just hate people, you probably hate British people and Canadian people too, and those are two fucking cool countries.
Those are great places.
Mexico's cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool countries. If you just hate countries just because they're not, where you're from, then you can eat a fat cock. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we want the message of this show to be officially, pretty much, is eat
a fat cock.
Eat a fat cock if you are a racist or a terrorist or a bigot or like a fascist. I'm not into fascism.
No, fascism is out of style.
Nazis can eat ass.
Yeah.
Like
that sounds
pretty
like
much. We want you to know that's the side we're on. Politically, we don't like to get too political. We're not going to pick a party. You'll definitely not see us falling into Democrat or Republican, any of those party lines. Fuck that shit.
No, if we were to be associated with any party, it would kind of be our own thing, kind of just a call to arms for America for another revolution, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what we're all about. That's why the name of this show is Bridging Realms. We're all about coming together as a country. It's that classic sentiment. One of the presidents, probably fucking Reagan, was, he gave that speech about the people would come together.
Yeah.
If we were faced with an extraterrestrial threat. Yeah. And that was probably the best thing he ever did, and he probably delivered it so well because he was a fucking actor. But for real, that an Independence Day situation would go down. Yeah, where we would come together if some aliens invaded us.
We would find out something crazy about the aliens. They're always allergic to water or some weird shit like this.
That's some M. Night Shyamalan alien shit. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we would probably find out that the aliens are allergic to human semen. And then the straight white man would be the hero once again.
Oh, exactly, because then we just fuck our way out of the situation.
Yeah.
Right.
We'd fuck our way out of the situation. We'd jerk off on them,
That would be... that would be us, the straight white male, like really saving the planet. Yeah. Where, to be honest, like most of the time we are fucking ourselves into situations. Yeah. Like our fucking just takes us into bad places, But that way, I mean, they can really take us to some good places.
Guys, I'm trying not to tear up right now, but I know a lot of you out there you don't understand at this point in history how hard it is to be a straight white man right now.
I don't find it so hard, but False over here, he seems to be having a rough time.
There's a lot of persecution on Twitter. I can't call women bitches anymore, and I have a real problem with that. That's the main problem I run into, is no longer being able to call women bitches.
He's getting a lot of resistance on Twitter for that, and, sometimes probably rightfully so.
Agree to disagree.
But that's what we're in. We're in 2019, where these kind of issues we're figuring out as a human race. Hello, Bridging Realms listeners. Bridging Realms universe. We are coming to you today from the studio to talk to you about something that generally falls in the realm of cryptozoology, but some theorists believe could be an interdimensional being, or maybe something paranormal that has to do with angels and demons more so than aliens or unknown beings. We are talking about the Mothman, which is one of my favorite pieces of unknown materials out there, I guess.
Yeah, and Mothman's actually a topic that I'm not nearly as familiar with as far as cryptids go. The man in the title kind of turns me off. This isn't maybe as sexy to me as some of the others. I mean, I'm sure Mothman probably has moth women too, but just not really my thing.
Never really a confirmed sighting, from what I can tell, of a moth woman. They all seem to be, they're humanoids, of course, but they all seem to be described as moth men. So I can understand why False Freedom, is probably turned off by this a little bit.
Now, say one of them was to get a sex change. I'd probably be down with that.
Now that I don't even know the logistics behind, really, since we only have these sightings, so we don't know the anatomy fully. We do know in the late 1960s in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, there were quite a few sightings of this humanoid figure that had, these huge moth-like wings, these big red glowing eyes. Some people saw it flying. Some people saw it spread these wings. Really some strange encounters, and they all kind of matched up. They all saw generally the same thing, before this huge disaster.
Yeah, I was kind of reading on the news site Wikipedia about this first sighting kind of right outside of Point Pleasant, it's by an old munitions factory.
Yeah, I've seen some theories that Mothman could have been created by some chemicals from this munitions or TNT factory, and there's a lot of sightings around there. Other people think that maybe this thing is like an interdimensional being, some sort of harbinger, telling people of bad omens, things that are to come.
Do you think that in the munitions factory they could have blown a hole in space-time and maybe the Mothman entered through it?
Very good theory there, and one I'd really like to unpack that, really like to explore. This has happened many times throughout history, where people have theorized that maybe, mankind has taken science and scientific exploration too far.
Yeah.
Maybe we've done something where we've blown a hole in the fabric of space-time, or we have, with the Large Hadron Collider, maybe we've split some sort of atom, or we've done some shit that wasn't supposed to be done, and it fucks with time. It fucks up our whole space-time continuum, you could say.
You can really kind of think of the blast that TNT would cause. So say you take, I don't know, 6 bundles of dynamite, and you put those 6 bundles of dynamite up against a rock wall.
Right.
You light them, you blow it up. So 6 bundles of dynamite is the equivalence of me eating 3 gas station burritos. And the damage it does to my asshole.
And that's quite a blast, really.
Yeah, a lot of damage done there.
A lot of damage. So that theory is very interesting, that maybe we could have done something to release this Mothman in the area. Yeah. Others think that the collapse of the bridge there in Point Pleasant over the Ohio River was what brought about these Mothmen, that maybe they were, interdimensional beings, or some sort of beings that bring about warnings, letting you know, that something awful is going to happen. Since the legend of the Mothman has spread, there have been, unsubstantiated rumors going around the internet about Mothman sightings before other huge disasters. You can find them anywhere, from stuff from, 9/11 to people seeing the Mothman before their dog is run over in the street in front of their eyes.
Yeah, the Russian 1999 apartment bombings. I read about that. Russian ufologists believe there were Mothman sightings before that.
Right. A fuck ton of people also said that there were Mothman sightings around Iowa and Florida and certain other states right before the 2016 election, before Trump was elected. That Mothman was seen quite a bit around that time. The Mothman is something that doesn't have that many sightings, You have the sightings in the 60s. You have some recently in Chicago and things like that. But that could be, honestly, just because it's out there in the zeitgeist.
You got to think that the lack of sightings might even legitimize it a little bit more, because it's not like some of the other cryptids where you get like 500 reported sightings a year and you're like, okay, I know not everybody saw Bigfoot that called this in.
Right.
There's no Finding Mothman TV show.
Right, and I honestly, I wish there was. I wish there was a Finding Mothman, Finding Chupacabra, finding all these other, cryptids besides Bigfoot. We get a fuck ton of Bigfoot reports, yet this show can't find it in as many seasons as they've fucking had with their huge budget.
Maybe like a Finding Cryptids shared universe.
They can eat my ass. Honestly, like, they can eat my fucking dick, because we're over here working our asses off. We're over here trying to bridge realms. We've dedicated our lives to this kind of work. And we're dodging the deep state here. Yeah. We are trying to, protect ourselves and our families every day while uncovering truth. And these motherfuckers get a huge money contract from Discovery Channel and their parent companies to go out there and find Bigfoot, and they haven't fucking done it. That stuff that gets my goat a little bit.
I can tell.
That pisses me off, because we're working hard over here and we don't have any kind of Discovery contract. We've had our episodes deleted. We've had accounts deleted. We're over here scared for our lives, scared for our content. And they're over there cashing checks to run around in the woods and scream at each other, stepping on sticks.
I even had all my unsolicited dick pics deleted.
That's true. False has had a lot of quality dick pics, quality nudes, and then some very offensive material deleted, and that's not fair. That's his content. That's his free speech.
That's my collection.
It's his free dick pics.
Yeah.
If he wants to take those kind of pictures of his cock, he can.
Yeah.
That's his right.
It's my right to send it to any person I can acquire a phone number from.
Yeah, and I want to warn our listeners out there that if you do contact us, you can contact our official accounts, our Twitter at Bridging Realms, and us on Instagram, and all the social media, and we will respond. We love talking to our fans. If you go after our personal accounts, we do love talking to you. I'm at Dr. Gene Carlisle. If you talk to False Freedom, I do want you to know,
at False Freedom 691.
Yeah, you are opening yourself up to his freedom of speech and his freedom of dick pics. He will send you some unsolicited penis photos.
Yeah.
And that's, if you talk to him, that's what you're opening yourself up to. You have to know that. Because he's very free with these dick pics.
I'm a lot like Fuck Jerry, and I consider the initial contact consent.
That's true. And I'm gonna go ahead and speculate that also, like Fuck Jerry, he is not crediting the people who are actually responsible for these dick pics, because I do not believe that this is False Freedom's dick. I've seen the pictures, and I don't think it's your dick, man.
Look,
I don't mean to call you out like on the air, like, but these are some primo cocks you're sending out, and some really good lighting.
I tan my cock, man.
You tan it?
You know,
naturally, or with
with a tanning bed. I've got a tanning
a spray
bed.
Do you spray it?
No, I've got a tanning bed that I only use on my cock.
Oh shit! So you have a Trump style tanning bed? Did you get this advice from QAnon? Is this one of the QAnon things you're following?
This is, yeah. But it's kind of reverse of what the president is doing himself. He actually does not tan his dick.
I have heard, my sources, I've heard tans like fucking 4 times, 5 times a week.
Yeah, and the spray tans too.
Oh shit!
Mine's all natural tan from the bed, like God intended it.
Just like natural from fluorescent
Yeah,
bulb
natural.
lights.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't see the sun unless I'm staring at it out a window.
Dude, that makes sense because like you're a pretty white dude,
Yeah.
but these pictures that I was seeing that you were sending people, that your dick was like dark.
Yeah.
It was a dark as fuck dick, you know.
Yeah, I tan my dick. That's I mean that's all the explanation you need for why my dick doesn't match my body type.
Well, man, this is a thing that, you know, I'm going to have to look into, you know, on Bridging Realms. We're also looking into health and lifestyle kind of things as long as they, you know, as long as they're new age, as long as it's, you know, kind of on the fringe stuff.
Yeah.
And
this is fringe science.
You know, this is, if you want a tan dick, it sounds like False Freedom has got the way to do it. Maybe we need to set up our own store, like a Bridging Realms store. If you'd be interested in that, let us know on social media at Bridging Realms. If you'd be into a store where we sell merchandise, or maybe some health stuff. Alex Jones is over there selling supplements and shit.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
we can sell some stuff for tan dicks. Maybe some sprays or some lotions to help your dick get darker.
Yeah, make your dick look like mine.
Well, I don't know, man. My dick's like pink as fuck, dude. Like I have a classic white guy pink dick. So what do I do for that? I'm afraid if I tan it, it's just gonna get like red. Darker pink seems like a red to me.
Yeah.
I don't want a red like fucking demon dick.
I had the advantage of never being out in the sun, period, prior to beginning the dick tanning. You've been out in the sun a little bit at least, so you...
Just a little bit. I was raised in California, but not as much recently.
Well, and you know, you gave the UFO tours, so you were outdoors for that.
Yeah, meditations I do outdoors as well. So
Yeah, so definitely got some sun time there, so... That kind of skews how dark your dick's actually gonna get, you know. When it contrasts my white body, it gets much darker looking.
That makes sense.
It almost looks like a transplant.
Like, oh yeah, that's one thing I thought. I thought for a second that you maybe photoshopped some dicks to send out, but you know, I had to question everything, you know?
Yeah.
I had to be, even when it comes to my own, you know, podcast partner's dick pics that he's sending out, I had to be a skeptic.
For all you knew...
I had to be a skeptic.
For all you knew, the deep state could be photoshopping my dick pics.
They could be photoshopping it to look different.
Yeah.
We know that NASA has fucking admitted all the photos they put out are computer generated.
Yeah.
It could have been a composite dick, and that's what I mean, I'm thinking you're maybe sending out composite photos from like all the different eras of what your penis has looked like. I don't know. So, you know, I'm glad we got down to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Got some truth. That's what we like to drop here on Bridging Realms is truth. So now you know if you get a dick pic from False Freedom, you know it's real. You know where it's coming from. You know why it looks maybe a little bit different than the average dick pic. But you know why it's unique, and you know why it's real.
And if I'm going to be honest with anybody, it's going to be the listener.
Oh, yeah. We are definitely very honest with the listener here, especially when it comes to things like, you know, False Freedom's overly dark penis. You know, with seeing giant moth dudes around, there was already, you know, a level of high strangeness to these stories. But adding to that, around this time in Point Pleasant, some people said they were visited by men in black.
The Men in Black?
Yeah, like legit, the classic Men in Black stories, you know?
Wow.
Dudes in, you know, black suits, black ties, white shirts, black hats. They were, you know, very strange. Some even, you know, gave that description that their eyes and faces looked a little strange, that their memories of meeting with these guys were a little hazy afterwards. You know, classic Men in Black type shit. So it looks like maybe, our government or extraterrestrials, whatever you think the Men in Black are, were investigating these Mothmen while this phenomenon was happening.
So do you think the Men in Black strictly deal in an extraterrestrial jurisdiction, or do you think they do interdimensional as well?
Honestly, I think they're probably government agents that are covering the whole gamut,
The whole spectrum of weird shit.
Just weird, unexplainable shit. Really, I'm sure they were picking up information and then just fucking damage control.
Yeah.
Because people are nuts. So they're just trying to find out what's going on and then just trying to quell it so people don't do weird shit.
Well, and maybe they don't even really know what the fuck is going on when they begin the investigation.
Yeah, right? I think it's less like the movie Men in Black. I would say that in that movie, they probably have more of a handle on it.
Yeah.
Than our government would have.
Well, and that's like the 60s, and Men in Black, the movie, is the late 90s, so maybe they got a better handle on it by the time that movie comes out.
You know what? I would like to see if they're gonna remake a Men in Black or make a more realistic Men in Black. Just basically make it Men in Black meets Fast and Furious and cast Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
They might as well just give it the fuck up and cast Dwayne The Rock Johnson as a Man in Black.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking cool.
Can we have him opposite VD?
Oh, yeah. Vin Diesel needs to be some kind of fucking alien.
So I heard the last movie they did together, they would not even film together at the same time. They had to be CGI'd together. So, I want them to be partners. I mean, VD can be an alien still, but partners of some sort, just so that they have to be in every shot together.
Either that, or they make Hollywood history and they film the entire fucking movie in different places, and then they CGI it all together. It's possible.
I could see VD like the entire time laying on a beach, maybe. And maybe there's other stuff going around, but they just cut to him laying on the beach, sipping his Corona. You know he's a Corona drinker.
Oh, dude, yeah, I bet I would love to drink Coronas with him.
Oh, yeah,
that would be
sure.
great. Speaking of really good movies,
yeah,
I think one thing that has kept the Mothman pretty popular is the Mothman movie, the one with Richard Gere.
Oh yeah, I was gonna watch that for Geartoberfest this year.
Oh yeah, you do like Richard Gere.
Yeah, every October, I watch a new Richard Gere movie every day.
And it's good that you went so long without watching any Richard Gere movies that you I mean, most of these are new to you.
Yeah. And every year it's just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I love Richard Gere. Most of the movies are a little bit forgettable. So by the time Geartoberfest rolls around, it's basically like I haven't seen him anymore.
Oh, I totally understand that. I myself smoke so much marijuana that I often forget movies I have seen and will enjoy them again afterwards.
That's truly a blessing.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Richard Gere made this incredible movie called The Mothman Prophecies. And everybody should watch it. It's fucking incredible. It's a psychological thriller about this guy that's just being fucking haunted by this Mothman that's warning him about the collapse of the bridge over the Ohio River. So it's got like some historical context of some shit that actually happened, some reports, like there was a gentleman who really did report getting these weird calls from a Mothman who had identified himself as Indrid Cold, and they used that same name for the movie. And they did take some liberties with tying a lot of different people's stories into one character with Richard Gere. But it's Richard Gere, so who's gonna fucking complain, right?
Yeah, right.
Richard Gere can be the everyman. We are Richard Gere. We all can put our faith and our experiences into Richard Gere, you know.
So tying all the stories into just being Richard Gere instead of the multiple people, is it kind of like conceptually where Richard Gere is like crazy and nobody wants to believe him about this Mothman since he's the only one seeing it?
Yeah, right. Like there are other people in the movie that they're seeing it, you know, and he talks to them as part of his investigation. Mm-hmm. But you know, those people also, you know, meet untimely dooms or go nuts or whatever. But Gere's mainly our main character, you know, so he experiences most of it, and the Mothman seems to, you know, have a personal tie to him with his dead wife and shit, which is mainly just written for the movie. You know, you've got I'll tell you, any movie that you see Richard Gere with a dead wife, I mean, that's just a recipe for success.
Yeah, because
it's heart-wrenching. The man knows how to brood. And you know he really misses that dead wife. So,
well, and the thing that everybody knows about Richard Gere is that he can fuck.
Oh yeah,
so
dude.
Richard Gere
he fucks.
Yeah, Richard Gere with a dead wife. That's a good situation for some movie going.
Right, you know, because he's missing like that fucking. You know, like he needs to fuck, but his heart is also conflicted because he has this dead wife. And I'm sure anytime he fucks, he feels like the dead wife is like watching him. So he hasn't been able to fuck since she died.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of Mothman Prophecies. You can tell he's super. Oh, also, I mean, the wife is Deborah Messing. So like,
yeah,
you can tell like he had some sweet, awesome sex with Deborah Messing. She has great hair.
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really
Beautiful.
Really sexy hair. You can tell that Gere really misses it.
Yeah.
A lot of the montages of his memories of her are she's like kind of getting out of the car and she's laughing and she's whipping her hair, you know, and you're like,
oh yeah,
like shit, dude, they were in love. Gere misses making love to her. And the Mothman keeps fucking with him. He keeps bringing back those memories. He keeps saying like, you're going to see her and shit. And bringing up just stuff you should not know for being a creepy dude, calling Richard Gere's hotel room in the middle of the night, you know?
Yeah. So does he get to fuck?
No, I don't believe Gere fucks in the movie.
This might be a non-starter.
You know, we may have to do a rewatch for this podcast, but I don't. You know, I think there's a lady cop that he kind of has some chemistry with. But I don't think they fuck. I think shit's going too weird. But it's strongly implied that they will because it's Richard Gere. You know, it's Richard Gere, and of course, at some point, this Mothman shit is going to be solved, and he's probably going to get over his ex-wife that he keeps bringing up, but helps Laura Linney, the lady cop, realize how emotional and deep and layered the Richard Gere is, so clearly they are going to fuck.
Okay.
After this movie, I feel like you're gonna have to watch it. You really should.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've hooked you now. You're gonna have to watch it.
I'll watch it, and
you love Gere. It's on your list. You're gonna have to.
I was kind of thinking like I'll watch the deleted scenes. Maybe there's some fucking in the deleted scenes, or more alluding to it. And then maybe I can watch with the commentary track a few times. And he'd probably drop something about how this is where I'd normally fuck her, but we didn't have time, you know?
Right. This is Gere plus crypto. You have to watch it.
Yeah, and it's also like, you know, how much over budget would they be with the fuck scene? With the Gere fuck scene? You know, that probably adds $10 million to the budget right there.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he shows that ass.
Yeah, just for like all the like on camera like makeups artists they need on set, all the stuff to make like Gere's ass look all creamy and smooth.
Yeah.
And you know they may even need some digital effects post production kind of stuff to add the Mothman in there.
Oh,
I really think like Mothman would have to
hang on,
watch
Doc.
them fuck.
Hang on, Doc. For a second there, I thought you were suggesting they digitally alter Richard Gere's body for sex scenes.
Oh no, like maybe current Gere, but at that time, no, he was in his prime.
Okay.
He was in his prime at that time where he would have had a smooth Gere ass, but not now. So, what do you think, False? What is the Mothman? Is it an interdimensional being? Is it a cryptid, like an animal of this earth? Or is it something paranormal, like some sort of angel or demon?
Man, I really want it to be a cryptid. I would love to classify it as a cryptid.
Yeah?
But, we don't have proof they're females of the species. It's called a man. And it just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to lean away from cryptid, and I'm going to go for interdimensional being.
Yeah, I respect that opinion. I understand. On the counter, we don't have any reports of the Mothman's, genitals being seen.
True.
So we're not sure about the genders, but I get it. It's called a man. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is some sort of supernatural being. Maybe not a cryptid, maybe not an interdimensional being, but maybe something of this earth like that we don't understand. Maybe it is kind of like Bigfoot, where it can go to a realm or a place that is unseen that we don't understand. Maybe just more in tune with nature, and it's come to warn us about these disasters. I'll be honest, I had a dream, and it was after the time that I had watched Mothman Prophecies, so maybe I was dreaming about this because of the movie. Usually after a Richard Gere movie, I will have Richard Gere dreams for about 2 weeks. Afterwards, you'll just have Gere will just slip into those dreams.
Yeah, my doctor gives me special shit to snap me out of it, because I
you got to go on medication to get Gere out of your dreams.
My heart rate just climbs so much when I'm sleeping, way more than in my resting hours.
Damn,
almost like exercise.
Wow, yeah, you gotta really monitor how much Gere intake you have.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I had just seen this movie, so maybe I was dreaming about the Mothman because of this, or maybe the Mothman was, really coming into my consciousness and warning me about, some great disaster that was going to happen in my life. But these dreams, the Mothman would talk to me like he talked to Richard Gere in the movie over that hotel phone. So he would also talk to me on an old rotary phone, and he would warn me of this impending doom. And then I woke up that morning and I had just the worst diarrhea, like awful fucking diarrhea. And I remembered that's what he had told me about in the dream. He had told me that in time I was going to have this extreme, diarrheal outburst. And I did. And I had to take that whole morning off. I don't know if you remember, I had to postpone recording.
Yeah.
Because I was just shitting so much. And, weird thing is, I have an old rotary phone in my bathroom hooked up beside the toilet. You didn't receive any calls while you were shitting, did you? I did. And there was nobody there on the other end. Like, they hung up. Rarely do I get calls to that phone. It's a separate line. But it's there. So yeah, I dreamed that, and then I shit my ass off the next morning.
your mind in the butt. This is Bridging Realms. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Bridging Realms Project.